Randy Carlisle back to pick it up. Islanders start with Steve Thomas out there with Dave McElwain and Tommy Fitzgerald. This line played well the other day. Here's the captain, Troy Murray, blasting one in off the boards. McDermott will tip it behind the net. McElwain after it. Pilon on defense with Gary Nyland. So Nyland starting right off here. And here come the Islanders. Thomas letting go of the blast. And it's played now by the Jets as they'll change on the fly. Mark Osborne on right now. Up ahead, here's Osborne, the former Ranger, banging it in. And now the Jets complete the line change. Jeff Finley paired up now defensively for the Islanders as he works with Dennis Vasky. And here's Thomas Steen. He's checked off the play. Steen back after missing almost half the season with a back injury. Get back towards the point. Teppo Newman in there. And Islanders break it up. And here's Turgeon coming off the 2-goal effort. Wheeling in, getting in. Sends it to go down. Out in front. Pollock falls down as he tried to get the shot off. And back comes Pat Ellenuk. Evans' shot steered to the corner. Good opportunity there, set up by Pierre Turgeon, Eddie.
Well, a beautiful play. Turgeon held the puck perfectly, but it was a good defensive move by Winnipeg, taking Volek down before he was able to shoot it into the open net.
In front looking for King was Turgeon, broken up. And quickly, Winnipeg comes to center. John LeBlanc, the rookie, who was a big high scorer. He's out there right now, high scorer in the minors. The American Hockey League a couple of years ago. Now a two-line pass is whistled down, stopping play. A minute 52 seconds into this opening period, and we are scoreless.
Well, what the Islanders really have to do is they have to get a good offensive game going. They've got to put a lot of pressure on Winnipeg, keep them down in their end of the ice, and create some scoring chances. Take a look as Pierre Turgeon, he created a good scoring opportunity. Watch in front of the net now. Turgeon holds the puck. Asensa goes down. Now he goes to the front of the net. David Volek with an open net, but look at the check. A beauty thrown on Volek, taking him off the puck.
The Winnipeg defense is pretty much the story of their offense, Eddie, because they rely so much on Phil Housley, Teppo Numminen, and the likes of Frederick Olofsson. Those three really provide so much of the offense for this hockey team. Robbie DeMaio on with Benoit Hogue and Ray Ferraro. This line played well the other night, too. Here's Ferraro behind the net. Big Sean Cronin will knock it away. And up they come to center. Borsato, the exciting rookie out there right now. Olofsson a drop on the wing. The pass for LeBlanc broken up. This is the over 30 line. All three of the forwards with numbers over 30, they call them, Eddie.
Hey, better be careful.
They're all under 25, that's for sure. It's a young line. And it'll be steered to center. Mario Marois the scratch today. They have a Russian defenseman we'll talk about who they're pretty high on, who joined the team a short time ago. Is Borsato. A feet up ahead for Sykes. Lost the handle, and here's Vic Makota trying to help out. Oh, get it knocked away out in front. Shot on goal. And Fitzpatrick able to just stop it from going in. Good setup that time by the youngsters that time. Mike Eagles now collides in center ice, and he sends Bill Sykes firing down. The shot right on by Mike Hartman. And the action picking up, Eddie.
I'll tell you what, that's probably one of the best checks that's been thrown in a few games here. That's Winnipeg on Winnipeg.
That one dumped in. Essence a weak clear. McDonough after it. And the Eagles will clear it out to center. No score. We played 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And colliding Vasky knocking Hartman down. Usually when these teams get together, there are very few penalties, and it's a fast-paced skating game, but some hitting going on here right now.
Well, that adds to a good hockey game whenever you've got good skating and good hitting. The players, as we talked about with the Rangers, generally like it that way. We have a break in the action. We're early in the first period, and there is no score. Some anxious moments at both ends of the ice. Mark Fitzpatrick has one on a pass, a deflection. There's the Islanders. Can't get a hold of the puck. Twice they had it, twice they lost it. Watch in front of the net. The deflection, the goalpost on this side. Puck rolls over, Lodge is up against it. That was Borsato that deflected the puck, almost getting in behind Mark Fitzpatrick.
Well, Borsato, one of the exciting rookies that have joined this team this year. Young man who played a year in Finland. Eddie was in Clarkson College. If you look at Bill Housley over there.
That's an equipment problem. He's heading down. It's probably stripped 1 or 2 skates. If it's one, it's stripped very bad. He may have stripped both of them. But
he'll be Stan's guest, by the way, and coming up a little bit later on. Off the face-off. Islanders trying to get the puck out. Thomas along the boards with McElwain. Right point, Newman blasted wide. Back toward the left point. Ulanov, the Russian defenseman, a very physical player now on. He's number 32. 10th round draft pick in the 91 draft. McElwain dumps it in. Fitzgerald pursues it. Ulanov throws the check. He goes down, colliding with the American Tommy Fitzgerald. And play continues up ice now. Thomas having words with McDermott. Back the other way comes Steen. And Finley will pick it up. Fitzgerald trying to get it up ahead. Knocked down by Newman. We've played 4.5 minutes, no score here at the Coliseum. Islanders and the Winnipeg Jets. Taken back by Evans. Now Turgeon will get to it. Troy Murray out there to watch Turgeon. He's their best defensive center iceman. This team doesn't have a whole lot offensively in center ice, Eddie, but primarily defensive center ice.
No, they don't, and that was admitted to by Troy Murray, the captain, in the interview that I had with him prior to the game here today. Said that we're just not going to scare a lot of people offensively, but we have speed and we have tenacity, some good checkers. If they get a couple of goals, that might be enough to win with the goaltending of Essensa, the way he's played lately.
Cleared out to center, and Curvis will play it now away from the play. We've got a penalty call coming up by Mike Magoo, and it looks like it's going to be on the Islanders, I believe. So we've got a break in the action. 5 minutes, 16 seconds gone. No score. Back with the Vancouver power play.
Watch over on the left side of your frame at home, and you'll see Derek King draw the first penalty of the hockey game. High sticking. Right down along the boards. There comes King. You see with his stick in the air there, he comes up, boom, oh gosh, it could have been an elbow. Butt end, not quite a butt end, but he got the hands into the face, got the stick up a little high, so the Islanders will have to kill off a first penalty here in the game.
Well, Jets penalty killing has been pretty good overall, but on the road, not very good. They're 16th, or power play rather, they're 16th in the league on the road. You see their overall standing, they're excellent at home. And the Islanders' penalty killing's been getting better, but still ranked way down. They're 21st now in the league. And the Jets against the Islanders 1 for 9 on the power play this year. But look for their point men to control it. They've got Olesen out there with Newman in. Now Newman drives it hard. He takes a heavy hit from Pilon. Whacked hard around the boards into the corner. Played there by Evans. To Olesen. Newman throws it toward the slot. Evans recovers. Newman with the drive and a score. They had a screen set up with Eleanor in front.
Well, the Winnipeg Jets, they used the point positions, pass it back and forth, and then a quick shot. I believe you're right, Barry. Pat Eleanor was cruising in front. Newman took the shot. There's the pass over. There's the one-timer as it comes in, coming in high. Yes, I do believe it hit the forward, Pat Eleanor, the right winger. Let's take another look. That pass started by Evans. Newman shot. You can see the puck change direction as it gets in behind Mark Fitzpatrick. A 1-0 lead as the Winnipeg Jets makes the power play work.
Yeah, for Pat Eleanor, it'll be his 18th goal of the year and 7th on the power play, if it indeed is Eleanor. This is a club you don't like to fall behind against, Eddie, because they play so conservatively anyway.
They put the handcuffs on you, and then they shackle you beside if you're not careful, because they do know how to play that kind of hockey.
And now we have an icing call. The Islanders shot it in from outside the red line.
A little early in the hockey game to be discussing, about that particular aspect, because the Islanders figure that as you get a look at Pat Eleanor, his 18th goal of the season, a power play goal. This early in the hockey game, the Islanders recognizing the fact that, they could have won a game 1-0. They didn't figure on that when the game started. They're going to have to score more than one goal anyway.
Eleanor had a goal and an assist in that 3-1 win over Toronto on Saturday night as they evened their current road trip at a game apiece.
And, of course, against Toronto at home, Toronto, one of the hot teams of the NHL now. They have been in the recovery room and out.
They had a good recovery last night coming from behind to win that one at home. All right, here's Hogue trying to get to tapped away. Fitzgerald misses wide. Fitzgerald hooked down, no call by Magoo. They say he might have got a skate caught at the side of the net. Here's McDermott trying to one-hand it, drops it back for Murray. He walks in, and a stop, beautiful stop that time by Mark Fitzpatrick. Ferraro outlets, a delayed penalty coming up on the Jets as the Islanders shoot it in, and Cronin will touch up. We pause for a local break. 13:28 to go in the opening period. Jets lead it 1-0.
Well, Paul McDermott's number 23 gets 2 minutes. He gets it for high sticking, but more importantly than the penalty, how about this? Team USA has taken an early lead, real early, 36 seconds into the hockey game. They lead Sweden 1-0.
Well, that is good news, and good news for Islander fans that they've got a power play. Clark Donatelli, by the way, got that goal. Islanders on the power play here against the NHL's best road penalty killing team and second best overall. Volek in front for King, misfires as he shot it wide. Now Volek and Carlisle battle for the puck. It's underneath them, and the whistle blows, stopping play.
Well, it almost fits when you think of the ability of the Winnipeg Jets. Randy Carlisle, with the experience that he has as penalty killers, you need that kind of experience on the points, not only on the power play, where Randy Carlisle first made himself famous and became a Norris Trophy winner back in the early 80s with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He handled the quarterbacking, or whatever you want to call it, on the power play with Pittsburgh when they broke an Islander record for the most power play goals in a season, and that time they set it at 100.
Well, his style has changed, not very offensive-minded, certainly with this hockey team. Here's Curvers at the blue line to Turgeon, watched by Carlisle. Murray watching Curvers. The shot toward the net, and Essens it down. Comes up with Volek trying to get to the puck.
It'll be interesting to watch as you're sitting at home to see how quickly, when shots get through to the goaltender, Essens, how quickly the defensemen move in to help him out if there is a rebound. And here's the shot by Tommy Curvers. Look at the screen set up in front by Volek. Essens just guessed right, and there's the loose puck, and there's the defensive core. Carlisle, of course, leading them. He's recognizable by the fact that he does not have a helmet on.
Well, Essens gets a lot of rubber fired his way. He leads the NHL in save percentage with a sparkling 92.1 percentage. Here's Curvers at the blue line. Turgeon. To Volek, watched by Olofsson. Kerr. Volek faking. A minute 15 left in the power play. Turgeon. King. Volek. Curvers will drive. One scores!
That's goal number 9 for Tom Curvers as he continues to roll up the points and play strong defensively. The Islanders get a 1-1 tie now. Watch Tom Curvers. There he is with the puck. Number 28 took it quickly and fired it. Well, I thought Essens had a look at it. At first, he's looking at his defenseman as if his own player had screened him. There's the pass by Volek. The quick shot by Tom Curvers, and there it is, well inside the goalpost. He had a lot of room. That's why he hurried his shot. He could see that the goaltender was a little slow getting across the net. Fired it straight in.
It's Curvers' 9th of the year and 6th on the power play. Volek and King will get an assist. And Derek King extends his point streak to now 15 games. All right, Islanders have come back to tie it on the power play. Here's Hogue with a drive off the centum. Puck's on top of the net. Ferraro battling with Hogue to try to get it for the Islanders. Thomas Steen will drive it out to center. And Mark Fitzpatrick will stop it. Elon trying to get it out of the zone. Hogue ahead to Ferraro. And Newman will tap it. Out to center comes Eagles. Long drive off the blocker of Fitzpatrick. Game is tied at 1 apiece. 11:50 to go. Power play goals by Elena and Curvers. I Ironically enough, Eddie, the Islanders have not scored an even strength goal against this team yet. Shot right on, and a stop made by Mark Fitzpatrick on that close-in shot taken by John LeBlanc. Here's McElwain, and it deflects over the glass into the crowd, stopping play. 9:29 gone here in this opening period. We're tied at 1-1, and as I mentioned earlier, the Islander, all three of their goals that they've scored this year against the NHL's premier penalty-killing team, but they haven't scored even strength.
Well, that's true. It's just kind of a quirk, but when you think of the kinds of games they played, a 1-1 tie they played here, and then a 3-1. Here's the shot a moment ago by Hogue. I thought he just didn't see it. Look at him. He's looking around. It went off the trampoline on top of the net right by the water bottle. He still hasn't seen it, but he knew enough to back up. Lost sight of it. Bounced high off a hard shot by Benoit Hogue.
Right now, Pierre Turgeon getting ready to face off. Islanders have come back to tie it. Luciano Borsato. Well, that name just rolls off your tongue, Eddie.
It sounds like a dish at a northern Italian restaurant.
Quite a hockey player, though, in college, this young man. And they'll get it out. LeBlanc out there, the fellow rookie. Here's Darren Shannon, who's played well coming over from Buffalo. Cronin knocked away by the Islander goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick. To pick it up, Turgeon. This line seeing a lot of ice time tonight in this opening period, Eddie.
Well, like Shannon, you were just talking about, Barry, he leads both teams with 2 goals. Nobody else has 2 goals.
Oh, King and Murray collide in center ice. Hitting becoming interesting, to say the least. And Olesen will drive it right back in.
Of course, hitting is a wake-up call sometimes.
Out in front, McDermott, and a great save by Mark Fitzpatrick.
Beautiful stabbing save off a quick wrist shot by Paul McDermott. Took a nice pass again. The Islanders run into trouble in their own end of the ice. There's the pass. There's the shot. Mark Fitzpatrick ready, waiting for it, snapped it up. There, the Islanders mishandle it. Dennis Vasky overskated it. The pass to McDermott and the wrist shot. You can see how back in the net Mark Fitzpatrick was. That gives them just a half a second, a split-second longer look at the puck.
Well, there's a break in the action, and ought to be a great time to break for the great taste of Bud Light. You know, it's a big hit with fans everywhere, because everything else is just a delight. What a delight this young man, Pierre Turgeon, has been, Eddie, for the New York Islanders.
Well, he has, and he's very quiet. He goes about his job, and he's quiet in the dressing room, and he's quiet on the ice, but he speaks loud when he's got the puck on his stick.
Had a chance to be on the post-game radio show with Pierre. The ladies like this guy. Good-looking guy, and becoming very popular here on Long Island. Here's King moving in. The wrist shot blocked. Turgeon fights off the check. Watched by Carlisle.
You see the balance that he has, Barry, when he's got the puck and he turns and he's able to control the puck while still in motion.
McDermott's pass, a weak one, picked off by Ken Baumgartner. Tonight's scratch, or this afternoon's scratch, Dean Chenault sitting out with Nyland getting back in action. Here's Hartman pushing down the wing. He gets in, shoots, save. The rebound trickles wide. Centering pass out in front and picked off by Robbie DeMaio. Up ahead, pushed down the ice by the speedy Benoit Hogue. Fires wide as he was being chased by Ulanov, the Russian defenseman. Ferraro looking for an opening. Shifty Ray Ferraro, cross ice to Nyland. He got a good pass, but he fired it way wide. A little rusty there in the shot.
Well, that's a tough pass to convert anyway, but a good try by Gary Nyland.
Sykes over to Hartman. He's in. The save again by Mark Fitzpatrick. And Nyland buries Hartman after he made that shot. Oh, what a check. Gary Nyland finishing the play as DeMaio bang it in.
Has the makings of a very good hockey game with the score 1-1. This kind of speed in the game and the heavy hitting.
Up to center, Ulanov. A Russian defenseman bangs it in. Right point, the dangerous Newman, sticked away. Fitzpatrick had a clear view of that one. Thomas to Turgeon. He breaks in, looking for Thomas. Tied up as he was getting to the net by Elliott. And Evans will play it. Here's Steen coming across the line. Here's Elliott. He's in. The shot knocked down by Fitzpatrick. Centering pass picked off by Turgeon. A Up ahead, Thomas in center.
If you were wondering about whether Turgeon plays at both ends of the ice, a good example there. A break in the action again. 8:43 remaining in the first period. It's a 1-1 tie. Speaking of positioning, in an afternoon game, well positioned. She likes it, sitting on Dad's lap, watching the Islanders play the Winnipeg Jets.
All right. A lot of kids here today, Eddie, and 2 more matinees coming up later in the week. Saturday and Sunday. Islanders playing Minnesota and Washington this weekend. Here's Ubi McDonough on with Bill Berg and Mick Bakota. And they'll be matched up against the kid line of LeBlanc and Borsato. Here's Borsato bearing down the right wing. LeBlanc backhands one wide as Shannon was crashing toward the net. Up ahead, McDonough. Bakota still looking for his first goal. Will flip it in. And the ageless Randy Carlyle at the age of 35. Up ahead to Shannon. Here's Borsato. A shot knocked down by Fitzpatrick. That was taken by LeBlanc. He's got a quick shot, LeBlanc. Shannon knocked down. Baumgartner couldn't get up. Now he does. Berg's lost his helmet, that famous helmet, Eddie. In the corner, it almost hit that helmet.
The doors were open too far, or too wide, and came off.
And there is Billy Berg wheeling to center. And he'll go off. And played behind the net now by Housley, who's back on for first time in a while. Housley was off. We saw him go off to the locker room. Pilon check. Shot toward the net, knocked down by Fitzpatrick. Heleniuk, or rather Murray, battling along with McDermott. Now McDermott knocks down the Islander defenseman Pilon. That helmet gets knocked around still. It's going to need some repairs, that Berg helmet. Now McElwain hauled down as he was trying to get to the puck. Delayed penalty coming up here. Fitzpatrick heads off, and the extra skater is Ferraro. They try to find Ferraro. He'll chase back to play it behind the net. Extra skater on. The net is empty. And now the touch is made. Back with an Islander power play. We're tied 1-1. 6:33 to go in the first period.
Guy sitting beside Bill Berg on the bench are saying, excuse me, no, Billy, that's not the helmet you want. See if somebody can throw it over. The spinning helmet. Is Bill Berg in it? The great Gazoo, I guess, from the Flintstones can do that. And Billy Berg can turn a mean trick.
And right now, doing a mean trick and deserving some time in the penalty box, Mr. Troy Murray. 2 minutes for tripping. 13:27. The Islanders 1 for 1 on the power play. Look to take the lead here. Finley plays the points with Kerbers. With back behind the net. Turgeon knocks it down. Turgeon watched by Cronin and Sykes. Centering pass deflected in front and cleared by the veteran Phil Sykes. Jets have scored 7 shorthanded goals this year. And as we mentioned, they're primarily defensive oriented in their penalty killing. Shot in. Cronin will clear it off the stick of Finley. Minute 20 to go in the Islander power play. 5:50 to go first period. We're even at 1-1. Turgeon trying to get around Cronin. Back into the corner, right point to Nyland, who's got a heavy shot. Nyland getting extra ice time tonight. The shot by Thomas knocked down. He's still looking for his first power play goal. Turgeon holding behind the net, giving room, centering out in front, and sliding down was the Islander player getting the shot off Thomas again.
What a good scoring opportunity for the Islanders that time with Thomas, and he's one of the few players that can shoot while he's off his feet.
Here's King throwing one toward the net off the glove of the goaltender. Newman will drive it around. Nyland trying to hold it in. 35 seconds on the Islander power play remaining. Thomas to Nyland. Takes the slapper. Too deep is the pass for Kerbers. And Evans with an opening will clear it down. Eddie, you sort of surprised that Gary Nyland seeing so much ice time tonight, especially right now in the power play.
I think what Al Arbor's really trying to do is give him some quality ice time, get him some skating and get him the feel of the puck, get him in back into the flow of the hockey games as quickly as possible, and that's a good way of doing it. Get him some regular ice time at even strength, some penalty killing time when you can, a power play. Maybe not penalty killing as quickly.
Teams are all even with 4.5 minutes to go. Tied at 1-1 is Nyland. Will drive one in right to left. Here's Ellenuk back the other way. Pat Ellenuk takes a hit from Vasky. Hove with a hit along the boards, and Ferraro will clear it out to center. Housley paired up with the Russian defenseman, Ulanov. Ellenuk gets Hartman in, and Hartman shoots it wide. And Richard Pilon will play it behind the net with 3:50 to go in this 1-1 first period. McDonough chases after in the corner. Watched by Ulanov. Centering pass intended for Berg. Broken up by the slick skating Phil Housley. Return pass for Housley. Deflected. McDermott with a hit in the corner. And here's Kenny Baumgartner for the Islanders. Jeff Finley will clear the zone. Big Sean Cronin comes back in. Deflected. Whacked at by Captain Troy Murray. And Finley knocks it out to center. Islanders, Dakota heads off, replaced by Fitzgerald. Here's Murray coming in with McDermott. Murray and Finley battle in the corner. Baumgartner drives it around. Olesen holds it in. Murray picks it up. Murray with Osborne. Murray tied up by Berg, still loose, and finally Baumgartner gets it out. Topped back in by Cronin. And the Islanders finally get control of it, and Finley will dump it in.
Close checking game. We're starting to settle into a pattern here, and both teams are very good at it, particularly in their own end of the ice. But right now, 15-5, the shots on goal favoring the Winnipeg Jets.
Osborne dumps it in. Borsato trying to get to that empty net for a moment. Out in front, it's still loose, and Turgeon picks it up.
LeBlanc overhandling the puck. Missed a good scoring opportunity.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was caught a little bit out of the net there. Now Turgeon checked. Gets it smartly up ahead. Fitzgerald dumps it down. He and Carlisle take each other to the boards. Thomas and Borsato looking on. Here's Thomas in the corner. Out in front, scooped up. And here's Housley to center. What a skater this Phil Housley is.
Outstanding skater and puck handler. Puck control.
Shannon in the corner. Cross ice, Housley was moving up on the play. Islanders trying to catch him, but he's such a good skater and he can get back within a stride or two.
Well, he has that ability like Orr had.
Here's Borsato with a drive wide. And Curvis taps the puck out of harm's way.
He can go up and join the offensive play and go as deep as he wants and can still get back in time to be a defenseman.
Right behind Brian Leach in the scoring for defenseman. A lot of people feel he should be the Norris Trophy candidate. Not only a candidate, but maybe the winner. We'll talk about that later. He'll be your guest coming up. Stan's guest, I beg your pardon. Coming up in intermission time. Up ahead, here's Steen on a 3-on-2. Ellenuk.
Last minute of play in the period.
Off the stick of Fitzpatrick. Ferraro whips it ahead, and Hogue kicks it in. It'll be an icing. As Newman touches up, now they wave it off. They say he could have gotten there. He's float up. Evans hit by DeMille. With just time remaining, Ellenuk will go off on a change. We're tied at 1-1 on power play goals by Ellenuk. And Curvis is the whistle blows, stopping play. And we're going to get a penalty call here by Mike Magoo. We'll take a break in the action, tied at 1-1.
Call now to order Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing. Get the most incredible ski action video, awesome cliff jumps, world-class snowboarding, outrageous stunts. Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing. Only $19.95. Call now to order Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing. Give the ultimate gift. Warren Miller's Extreme Skiing.
1-800-547-7100. 1-800-547-7100.
The Winnipeg Jets will get a power play for about the next 32 seconds, 32 and a half seconds. Watch over on the right boards as they come up. They're coming up the boards towards the front of the bench of Winnipeg. You watch DeMaio there. He decks the Winnipeg player, knocks him down, gets a penalty for roughing.
Over aggressive play by feisty Robbie DeMaio, who certainly has been playing well. And there's Dave McElwain, who will be Stan Fischler's guest in the first intermission. And it'll be Phil Housley in the second intermission. Face off here with McElwain battling Borsato. Borsato taps it behind the net. Finley will drive it around. You see the time remaining. It goes all the way down.
Good play by the Islanders. They win the draw, move the puck in a sense blindly, but that's the assignment that Hubie McDonough knows. He knows exactly where to go when the puck is in a position as a forward on the penalty-killing group, and he heads right for the boards immediately, knowing that the puck is coming. Timing it perfectly. Finley was able to get it around, and Hubie McDonough just tip it out. You don't have to do anything spectacular there. Just tip it.
Well, we would like Eddie to welcome our new viewers watching Sports Channel on Paragon Cable up in Ilion, New York. And welcome to the Sports Channel family as more viewers keep tuning in.
Oh, yes. Gosh, yeah. I was up in Connecticut visiting with a lot of our Sports Channel followers yesterday. Had some fun up at a high school in Connecticut.
And right now we're down to 11.7 seconds left in this 1-1 first period. Newman trying to lead in Housley. They would have been offside. Housley was trying to streak down the wing. It doesn't matter anyway. The Islanders have a freebie here. And Curvis scales it all the way down, and that'll do it for first period, in which the teams exchange power play goals. And there's the Islander goal scorer, Tom Curvis. Heading off. Kind of interesting with Curvis, Eddie. He's second on the team in assists right now. That's hard to believe.
Doing a wonderful job in that department. And, of course, Pat Allenuk with the goal for the Winnipeg Jets. Close checking period, although the Islanders were outshot 3-1.
We'll be back with our intermission story in just a moment.
Rusty Staub for Budweiser.
When your friendly bartender slides a cold butt across the bar to you, he's completing the final step in the quality control system that began in a field of golden barley.
Smith Nyland are hosting their 10th annual Athletes Against Hunger food drive to help the hungry on Long Island. Please fill a bag with nutritious canned food and bring it to the Coliseum Saturday, February the 22nd or Sunday, February the 23rd, prior to the Islanders games against Minnesota and the Washington Capitals, and both those games start at 5:05 p.m. Food be collected by the Islanders' wives and girlfriends and then distributed by Long Island Cares.
All right, Eddie, there was Robbie DeMaio, who has 1 minute and 33 seconds left in his 2-minute roughing penalty that he took late in the first period. As we get the second period underway with Steen out there with Evans and Ellenuk. Ellenuk, the goal scorer, on the power play in the first period for Winnipeg. The Islanders countering with a Curvers power play goal. Olesen to the red line. Olesen coming in. He has 15 goals this year, 9 on the power play. Give and go with Housley. Back to Olesen. His shot blocked. Rolls to the blue line. Kept in by Housley. Islanders can't get it out. Sit behind the net. Evans watched by Curvers. Down low they play it. Here's the shot knocked down by Fitzpatrick. On the shot by Steen. Olesen quickly moves it to Housley. Ellenuk taps it to the corner to Evans. Curvis trying to get control of it. He ties up his man, and there's McDonough to wrestle it all the way down.
Good patience by the Islander penalty killers as they watch Housley and his teammates on the power play, working it. Never really in good possession, but never without the puck until McDonough stabbed it, shot it down the ice.
Here they come back to Newman. His drive hit someone in front, and McElwain will pick it up quickly to Tommy Fitzgerald.
That was LeBlanc that got hit. He's limping for the bench.
Shot in, and Newman will chase it down. That should just about do it on the power play. 7 seconds remaining. Now, as Borsato comes across the line, the power play expires. Teams are at even at full strength right now. As DeMaio comes back on. Played into the corner. That rifled wide. Housley on the stick of Borsato. Shot blocked. He gets it back. Knocked down in front, and here's Jeff Finley. Kept in by Housley. Islanders in their clearing passes a little shaky at the moment.
No, good defensive move by Finley a couple of times, taking the puck away from the Winnipeg forward.
Now play back in the Winnipeg zone as Olesen tries a headman pass. Broken up nicely by Vaske. Here's Turgeon wheeling in. Tied up by Carlisle. What a pass he made to Hogue! Knocked down by Essenza. Behind the net now. Here's where Benoit Hogue trying to move on Carlisle. Tied up in the corner. Murray trying to get to the puck. Turgeon works it free. Turgeon out in front. It's still loose. And cleared by Olesen to center.
Some good puck control by Pierre Turgeon, giving the Winnipeg Jets some anxious moments.
Now Gary Nyland back up the ice to King. Turgeon spun around.
Go, guys!
And then Nyland back to pick it up. Paired up with Rich Pilon for the moment. Pilon can't get it, but the Islanders able to clear the zone. We've played almost 3 minutes of this second period, and we're tied at 1-1. Elenick and Curvis exchanging power play goals in the first period. Touch is made. We have an icing call. We'll be back. We're tied at 1-1.
She'll be crushed. But I need my space, my freedom. Just tell her.
Bob, I think we should see other people.
What?
Why don't you know what you've got till it's gone?
But we're so perfect.
Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's dry brew, not watered down.
She'll be back.
To drink light, yet satisfy completely. So while love isn't easy,
I'll give you one more chance.
refreshment is.
Hey, Dad, I'm more interested in eating this pretzel that I'm well into. I'm almost finished. Dad wants him to look at the camera and wave. He wants to see what's going around him, all that motion.
A lot of youngsters here, and a lot more expected on the weekend. Vaske shot blocked. Back out to center. Finley and Vaske paired up. Steve Thomas out there with Dave McElwain. Tommy Fitzgerald. Evans will drive it around for Elenick. Steen trying to clear the zone. Vaske able to keep it in. Crowd starting to come alive to get the Islanders going here this afternoon tilt. Steen moving down the wing. Fitzpatrick knocks it to the boards. Back it'll go. Steen catches back. Newman in. The shot knocked down. Fitzgerald trying to find the puck. Vaske checked as both he and Elenick go down, and McElwain will move it to Tommy Fitzgerald. Steve Thomas. This line, as McElwain pointed out, has good speed, Eddie, and they should be able to get some scoring chances.
Well, they should generate some as long as they handle the puck well. Of course, the speed isn't any good unless it's handled properly. Turn the speed on at the right time.
Right. Here's Borsato coming in. That one goes wide. Hartman in the corner, taps it behind the net. Centers it out. Sykes can't get it, but Cronin will keep it in. Hartman got by Hogue to the point. Olesen drives it around. Robbie DeMaio will try to get it out. Almost 4.5 minutes gone here in this period. Intercepted by DeMaio. He's got a 3-on-2 if he hurries. Whacked around. Hogue can't get to the bouncing puck. DeMaio knocks it to the boards. It'll be chopped back to center, and Sykes will roll it in as Winnipeg will change on the fly. Baumgartner up to DeMaio. Taken out by Shannon. And here's Benoit Hogue, hoping to get untracked offensively. Benny's been struggling. I think he has 1 goal in his last 10 games. And here's Phil Housley streaking down the left wing. Housley's pretty to watch. To Carlisle. His shot knocked down off the blocker of Fitzpatrick and played by Bill Burr.
That's quite an F pattern when you think of the distance traveled by Housley with great speed and puck control. He just made a big S. He started on the far side in his own end, came up through the center ice, circled, and went on to the other side, and came all the way back over.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Does he ever?
Tap down the ice. They wave off icing. No icing as Murray shot it from outside the red line. McDonough and Murray battling. And Richard Pilon will take the puck. Berg checked by the defenseman who moved up on the play. Ulanov held in by Newman. Osborne's pass moving in is Newman. Backhander to save! No, they're going to call it a goal. They say it went in.
Oh, yeah, there was no doubt about it. It couldn't come out the way it was. Right on top of it was Magoo. What a beautiful play. as he walked out in front of the net using his body for protection and fired it up under the crossbar. Surprising that the water bottle didn't take a flip. Beautiful play. Take a watch as McDermott. Watch him use his body on Mick Vukota. He fights off the check by Mick Vukota. There's the puck rising. You see the net bounce? Just like a trampoline, only this time the same net from underneath. In the first period, Esensa watched the puck bounce off the top of the net. Beautiful play here by McDermott. Look at him use his strength as he holds his balance, holds Mick Vukota away from the puck, and then fires a backhand shot under the crossbar. 2-1 now. The referee, you see him pointing? Yes, he's in motion. His motion is, and the players understand it. Mike Magoo is saying that the puck bounced off the netting and came out. And there wasn't any question. I didn't think there was a question on the players' side. The Islanders didn't put up much of an argument as McDermott has given the Winnipeg Jets a 1-goal lead. Look at Al Arbour. He doesn't really think that that's the case. Of course, he has to argue. He's the opposition coach.
Well, McDermott will get his 10th of the year. Our former Hartford Whaler. And you see the time, 5:54. So the Winnipeg Jets go on top again. And they have been a very, very difficult team for the Islanders to play against, Eddie.
Well, anybody that plays the same way as the Islanders, when you think of the other night against the Vancouver Canucks in the third period, the Islanders got 2 shots. Vancouver had something like 15 or 16. They start this hockey game, they get 5, and Winnipeg gets 15.
Well, here in this period, the Islanders have managed just 1 shot in 6 minutes of play. And they have a total of 6. Winnipeg with 3 in the period, and one of those the goal. Here's Fitzgerald's shot deflected over the glass into the crowd for stopping play. 13:52 to go in the second. It's the Jets 2 and the Islanders 1.
I'm in Times Square where video artist Wally Boss has interpreted New York Telephone's regional calling area. It's on the back of your phone bill. Here? Little, yes. Good. Hold on. Here we go. More power. Calls between Long Island and Manhattan, 212, or Brooklyn, 718, and Westchester, 914, or on New York Telephone. They're not long distance. It's long. It's long. We're all connected. New York Telephone.
Cotton candy or a little guy with a Ninja Turtle?
I'll tell you, it doesn't look very appetizing from here, but boy, he's having a good time putting that away, whatever it is.
Leonardo, not to be confused with Luciano Borsato from center ice.
Boy, when my grandchildren come, do I get a dose of that?
Vasky to play it around. Islanders again trying to tie it up. They've got a good one going here with Fitzgerald coming with McElwain. And he misses the net. As a stick went flying wide. Troy Murray playing without a stick right now. He'll recover his stick. Islanders in the corner, back to the blue line. It'll go through to center. And Vasky paired up with Finley will play it. Oaks could get that one. It's picked off, and they'll dump it in.
Linesman missed a 2-line pass also.
Carlisle hit that puck into the face of McElwain, who went down like a shot. And he appears to be shaken up.
Oh, it's painful any time you get hit in the face, and when they glance off the board, you know, the only thing you can hope for is if it hits you flat, because there's such sharp corners on the puck that if it comes off and catches you with one of the corners, there's the thing coming off the stick in the glass. Ooh, it hit him right in the middle of the face as it deflected up. Watch Carlisle there. See the stick? Again, out in front of him. Most hockey players, they just do not want to get their stick out there. They know it. They can sense it. And it's not there deliberately. It's just forgot for a half a second. And that's all it takes to see the puck come off it right into the face. And just hope that it's not anything too serious.
Ed Taberski attending to him. And want to remind you that Islander Hockey is brought to you by Mobil. Drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus. By the way, the goal for Paul McDermott was his 100th in the National Hockey League, and it came at his 541st game. He's been a pretty steady hockey player, nothing spectacular, and came over from Hartford, and he's done a decent job for the Winnipeg Jets, Eddie.
Well, the problem that he had earlier in his career was that he wasn't aggressive enough, and that's what they've been working on with him, and he slowly became more aggressive, and he's starting to take part in the play at both ends of the ice a little bit more. You see them talking now. Constant conversation, communications between the players. Something that either has happened. There we get a look at You can see now, you know where it hit him, just up on the forehead, or is he just adjusting the helmet away from his forehead? A moment ago, I was pretty sure there was a two-line pass, and the sharp guys down on the tape machine and in the truck. Watch here. Dennis Vasky with the puck. Now he lets the pass go. Maybe what they're saying is he did. See it across two lines, blue line and red line. I suppose the question there was when he released the puck, did he release it on the blue line, or did he release it after it crossed the blue line? Anyway, Dennis Vasky going to get a nice bag on the sore spot. Now you know where it hit him, on the lower right jaw.
So Dave McElwain putting that ice pack to his face as we're ready to resume play here. 7 minutes now gone in the second period, and these pesky Winnipeg Jets leading it 2-1. And off the draw, we have another stoppage in play here. I think we're going to get a penalty call by Mike Magoo.
Well, there's a little bit of ugliness. There's an undercurrent starting to develop in this hockey game. You'll remember in the first period, I talked about the fact that they were hitting well. Well, I'll get back to that and we get a break. There's the signal, high stick. We pause now for a local break. Well, the players are going into the penalty box, and the score is the Jets 2, the Islanders 1. We'll be right back.
Teamwork is what it's all about. Whether it's under your car, inside your engine, or around a wheel, Goodyear Teamwork wins. It started 90 years ago. Today, Goodyear continues to produce the best tires in the world. That's because Goodyear is the leader in research and development. The Goodyear team promises to offer only the best tires at the best prices. Nobody beats the Goodyear team promise on good tires, service, and people. The Goodyear team works a little harder for you. That's the Long Island Goodyear team promise.
McDermott and King go off, 2 minutes each. Roughing for McDermott, King for high sticking at 7:05. Teams play at even at full strength as the Islanders have it in their own zone. Tom Gartner will bang it up the boards, and Carlisle goes back to pick it up. Turgeon is out there for the Islanders along with Bill Berg right now, and Benoit Hogue. So a mixed line right here for the Islanders, Eddie, with King in the penalty box.
Well, he has to shake him up a little bit here. Not shake him up, that's the wrong word. I take that back. He has to adjust. And Benoit Hogue, a suitable replacement for anybody on any one of the three forward lines. Al Arbour. Someone asked Al Arbour not too long ago, they said about the coaching genius and about what he thought now with his team that has made the playoffs too many times in the last few years. Al Arbour's retort to that, or his response, Al Arbour said, listen, the smartest coach in the league is the one with the hottest goaltender. Let's not forget it. What a good line by Al Arbour. Let it go, Al.
Well, we've just gotten word about David Volek. Haven't seen Volek out here, and we just find out that he has a strained lower back and will not be back for the rest of the game. And that is a big loss to that #1 line. David has been playing so well of late. And that could be a costly injury, with the Islanders having 3 more games this week. Rangers on Thursday, and then the big weekend set against Minnesota and Washington. All right. Ferraro hit by Cronin. Here's DeMaio to try to pick it up. Islanders down by a goal. Approaching the halfway mark in this game. Thomas trying to pass it. Deflects to the goal. And we get a whistle stopping play with 8 minutes gone here in the second period, and the Jets holding on to the 2-1 lead.
Looking at number 44, Sean Cronin, often thought in this hockey game only so far he had not taken any bad penalties. He hadn't been in the penalty box yet. And I thought, well, maybe he has really changed. Maybe he's changed his game. And then I looked down at the penalty minutes next to his name, and he's got 235. Terry Simpson probably thinks that might be a little bit more. Although in asking Terry Simpson not too long, well, actually before the hockey game, we're always here early, so was Terry, when he coached the Islanders and did a wonderful job doing that. Now as assistant coach with the Winnipeg Jets, we talked about fighting, and he doesn't think that they should take it out of the game. He says, what happens when you get a real dull game or a 9-2 or something like that? The fans want to see something happen. So maybe the team that's got 2 could get 3 or 4 and start some excitement.
Terry going to be an entrepreneur as far as going into hockey management and ownership, and he's looking forward to that, Eddie.
Yeah, he bought a junior franchise.
That'll be out in the West.
Yeah, he's going to let somebody else run it and stay in the NHL as an assistant coach.
Islanders control at center. Vasky. Turgeon shovels for Hogue. Benoit breaks in. Knocked away, and Hartman will scoop it up. Former Buffalo Sabre. Moves his way in. Chase after his own play. Islanders not generating much offense. Only 6 shots in this game against the defensive-minded Winnipeg Jets. Here's Thomas. That'll be blocked off the stick of Newman and becomes a souvenir.
That's one of the problems, I suppose, if you wanted to be critical of Steve Thomas and what's happening to him. He does get a lot of shots on goal, but he shoots from some weird and wild angles. In other words, he takes a lot of time. He's off to the side. He can't score from there. If he has someone heading for the net, NHL goaltenders are generally not going to give a rebound up from a 40 or 50-foot shot.
Well, Thomas has surprised me with his passing ability, Eddie. He's got 34 assists, and, you know, he hasn't been scoring the goals, and I think it's something like 2 goals in the last 21 or 22 games. But his playmaking has been pretty good.
Well, no, he's always in the game, and he's always dangerous because he does possess the speed and the puck-handling ability along with a good shot. But it just seems that his election, I think when you're under that kind of pressure you put on yourself, you shoot from anywhere hoping something will go in and get you started.
And as we mentioned also, both he and Benoit Hogue are in the final year, the option year of their contract. Oh, look at that collision. Fitzgerald went in hard with the Russian defenseman Ulanov.
That's twice now that Tommy Fitzgerald has tipped him over.
Berg looking to set it up. Pass, however, picked off by Eleanor. Eleanor drops it off. Here's the shot right on, save made off the shot from the point by Steen. Back on the Islanders, Fitzgerald. Berg trying to chase it down. Evans avoids a check of Ferraro. And Ulanov cruises down the left wing. He goes flying to the ice.
Almost animated and in slow motion the way he kind of tipped over with Finley, making the play on him.
Housley headmans it nicely to Borsato. Back checking is DeMaio and Finley. With now 10 minutes to go in the second period, the Islanders managing only 1 shot in the second period. That would have been a 2-line pass, perhaps, if the Islanders had played it. Islanders will get it out to center. McElwain back on, but Carlisle able to steer it right back in. Mark Fitzpatrick trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Lost in Edmonton and then lost last Friday night at the Garden. That one tapped down the ice. Crowd getting a little antsy here, waiting for some action, Eddie.
Well, I don't blame them in a way. The Islanders, look at how Housley, of course, you can't rush a player like Housley. He'll pick you apart if you try to forecheck him too hard. But no, the Islanders, they're not skating as well as they can. You see the passing, that transitional passing, and this time from a forward. A break in the action here in the second period. Winnipeg Jets lead the Islanders 2-1.
Baseball's greatest games.
Home run!
It's good for a guy like me who loves baseball.
3-run home run for Bucky Dent.
The excitement was magnetic. Greatest enthusiasm that I've ever seen.
I was a diehard Mets fan, and they came through for me.
I'm a big baseball fan. That team just couldn't lose.
Deep to left. It's a home run!
The ball went through his legs. Everyone just went crazy.
It was a miracle. It's unbelievable, incredible. Baseball's greatest game.
It's history.
There's the sensible John Paddock. His approach to the game, play it in its simplest form, and that's what his team does. I suppose much like Al Arbor. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, not only in the way these two teams are playing. That's why there isn't so much excitement right now. They stopped hitting and they stopped skating, but they approach the game simply. Up and down your wings, cover, wait for a break, and then take advantage of it.
Dakota will dump it in. Out in front, McDonough was cutting in. Just couldn't get to it. Right point, Curvis, he'll take a shot. Stick save made. Housley able to get to the rebound. That's the first good shot opportunity the Islanders have had, and it draws a roar from the crowd as offside coming across the line are the Winnipeg Jets. Well, some of our guests receive a gift certificate from RCA. Changing entertainment again, and I guess the crowd here looking for some entertainment, Eddie.
Well, they are, and look at this. That smile on the face. Look at another San Jose Shark uniform. Boy, I'll tell you, kudos to the people that put that together. Take another look as the Islanders, Tom Curvers, with some time. Do you see his stick bend? There's the deflection. Beautiful play. Essensa making a fine stop. Hubie McDonough there, went out, deflected the puck. Of course, all the goaltender can hope from there is that he's going to be in the right spot. And being out that far, chances are he will be.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, David Volek threw for the afternoon, so Benoit Hogue should be getting a lot of playing time, double shifting perhaps as the more offensive-minded of the remaining left wingers. Right now, Mick Vukota out there with Ubi McDonough and Bill Berg. This line gave up a goal the last time they were on. Berg had that one go by him as he fell down.
Well, he was trying to hold the line to keep from going offside. That was the reason it looked awkward the way he fell.
Vukota trying to fight off Olesen, but the speedy Swede will play it back behind the net. One of the better unheralded defensemen in the league, Eddie.
Well, yes, there's no question. I think a lot of times what happens, the same as I'm talking about Housley trying to, they're trying to boost him into a Norris position, and he won't do it himself. He says that outright. But I'm not going to talk about myself and what I think about being a Norris player. And the same thing as you're talking about now with Freddie Olofsson. He quietly goes about his job, does it wonderfully, and doesn't get the recognition. I mean, who cares when you're out in Winnipeg, I suppose. But he is. He's an outstanding puck handler, a great offensive player, and does a good job defensively. There's his numbers, 15 goals, 30 assists in 56 games. You can't argue with that. And still be on a team that is very stingy. There are only 4 teams in the league that have a better goals against record than the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, it's his 6th year in the league. And the native of Sweden has done a fine job. He spent all his career with the Winnipeg Jets. All right, here is Gary Nyland. Islanders have never led in this game and looking to tie it up here, but not doing much here. Turgeon trying to tap it. It's batted around. And again, Olesen comes up with it. They'll pitch it back to center. And now Evans heads off on a line change as Pilon will play it behind his own net. Islanders being outshot 19-7. Here in this period, we have had very few shots by either team. It's 4-4, the shots on goal. McElwain has got Turgeon cutting to the net. Oh, big play by Troy Murray to break that one up, Eddie.
Beautiful play. A nice read by Troy Murray. He knew that his defense were in trouble, and he just pulled back to help him.
McElwain will chase after it. Pass intended for Turgeon. There's Troy Murray, one of the premier defensive players. Breaking it up once again. Knocked away by Murray on that pass. Newman will drive it toward the net. Blocker down to the corner. King can't get it. Ellenok trying to feed Osborne. Osborne recovers, fakes, slides it in front, batted back to the corner. Ellenok back to Steen. It's blocked. The rebound, score! Ulanov putting it home.
The Winnipeg Jets being as patient as the Islanders. The fans getting a little upset again with just over 6 minutes remaining in the second period. It's a rebound. Moving in quickly. Ulanov. He skates well. There he comes. There, number 32. There's the rebound before Mark Fitzpatrick can steady himself and set. Ulanov has slid along the ice. There's the first shot. That was a good one by Steen. Stopped the rebound. Ulanov, and a 3-1 lead for the Winnipeg Jets.
His first career goal, and it comes in the 7th game played on the NHL. How do you kind of sense that happening, the way the Islanders were running around a bit and not really able to control the puck?
Well, they were getting outnumbered quickly, and Ulanov came up to almost make it a 2-man advantage in that close to the net. Ulanov, 22-year-old Russian. He just signed a new contract, or his first NHL contract.
All right, Steen and Ellenok get the assist on the goal. The Islanders have dug themselves a hole once again. Remember, they have scored only 3 goals against the Jets this year, none of them at even strength.
What a great opportunity there. They had Ferraro all alone up the middle, and it was a bad pass.
Here's DeMaio trying to get to it. He goes down. Played by Ulanov. And he'll whack it down the ice. Should be an icing here. And as Baumgartner touches up, the whistle blows. 5:53 to go in the second. And the Jets lead the Islanders 3-1.
It takes all the right tools, drive, and determination to build a rock-hard, chiseled body. General Nutrition has the nutritional tools to help create the ultimate body. With Cybergenics, the total bodybuilding system for serious workouts. It's all here in one kit. Supplements, diet and training manual, even a videotape. The Cybergenics Bodybuilding Kit. Help sculpt your ultimate body with General Nutrition Centers, the authority in sports nutrition products.
We're back at the Nassau Coliseum. Barry Landers along with Eddie Westfall. And the Islanders down 3-1. You see the time remaining, 5:53. And Islanders with just 7 shots on goal. And as we mentioned earlier, Eddie, somehow, for whatever reasons, this Winnipeg Jet team does it to a lot of teams, but Islanders just find a tough way to score against them.
Oh, and I was trying to point that out, that they only had a couple of shots on goal against Vancouver in the third period in a game that they did win, but again, not a lot of shots on goal.
Right now, the Islanders have Turgeon out there with Fitzgerald and Thomas. Carlisle trying to get it up. Now checked into the corner. Carlisle bumping. Fitzgerald trying to come up with it. Thomas trying to get away from Carlisle. Turgeon trying to help out. Housley will tap it around the boards. Thomas. Keelan gambling there. But he'll recover in center. And shoot it right back in. Turgeon, good play against Carlisle. Fitzgerald backhander blocked by the sliding Housley.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere. Beautiful play by Housley.
Island will drive it right back in. Thomas, Turgeon still on. Fitzgerald heads off, replaced right now by Mick Bakota. Here's Turgeon wheeling toward the slot. Trying to get it in front, and Essenza will stop the puck there.
In the first period, Barry, they were double shifting Pierre Turgeon. They continue to do it here in the second, and probably more so because they're needing the goal-scoring punch. They have him out there with Fitzgerald and Thomas. Watch Turgeon. He is so shifty. Watch the stick of Housley now as he tries to throw him off. He knows he's been kind of beaten. He looks like Paul Bunyan trying to chop down a tree. Or maybe, on President's Day,
that's
George
right.
Washington chopping down the cherry tree.
Eddie, smooth, very smooth, Mr. Westfall. This guy's pretty smooth himself.
Oh, Bob, that's of course. He is, you know, some people are targeting him for an MVP possibility if these Winnipeg Jets continue to play the way they're playing, and he continues to play the way he's playing. Leads the NHL in shutouts and save percentage.
Now, I think he's, what, third in goals against, 2.68.
Exactly. You know that only 4 times since the Hart Trophy, the MVP trophy, came into the league, only 4 times has a goaltender won it. And when we get an opportunity, think about it. I mean, can you at home come up with 1, 2, 3, or all 4 names of the goaltenders that have won the Hart Trophy?
Instead of Ask the Maven, we'll have Ask 18 up here.
What do you mean, Ask the Maven? Is that a self-imposed?
Here's Dakota's shot blocked. Turgeon trying to get that bounce across. Oh, it's slithered through the crease. And Sykes will try to get it out. McDonough falls trying to get it. And it's picked up by Sean Cronin. Islanders scrapping here, trying to desperately come up with some chances. Bodies go flying. Bakota taking down Olesen away from the play. And here's Olesen trying to get to it. Scramble along the boards, and Steen will chop it ahead to Hartman. 1-on-2. And Purvis, who has the only Islander goal, and they're only 1 of 2 shots in this period, will try to get it. Instead, it's Turgeon. Bumped off the play. And here's Numanen. 3:40 to go. Second period, 3-1 Winnipeg. McDermott and Ulanoff have scored here in the second period to break a 1-1 tie. Turgeon trying to do it himself here. He's got Curvis moving up. King back to Baumgartner. Knocked down by Essenza, and he'll cover up. Time out on the ice. 3:20 to go in the second. The Jets frustrating the Islanders 3-1.
Why are foreign films so foreign?
Perché domando perché?
Try Bud Dry. It's dry brewed, not watered down. To drink light, yet satisfy completely. So at least refreshment speaks to everyone.
My between periods guest is going to be Phil Housley. My present guest is Janice Nyland, Gary's wife, and you got something to say about an event coming up.
Yes, we're doing athletes against hunger. We've been doing it for a number of years. We're selling raffles today. People can win 2 sticks or tickets to a game. And on the 22nd and the 23rd, we're collecting canned goods. So if you want to bring non-perishable canned goods to the game, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks very much, Janice. And Barry, take it away.
Thank you very much, Stan. Off the face-off, puck deflected out of play, and they'll bring it back for face-off about 10-15 feet inside the blue line.
I guess we're all interested in one of the things that just came up, and you'll bring us up to date on all of that between the second and third period, that Team USA has taken a 2-0 lead now over Sweden.
They are playing some great hockey, Eddie, and what a story they're writing.
Well, the goaltending has to be a big, and any time you play in a tournament or playoff hockey, sudden death almost when it gets into the next round. But in this case, they have had excellent goaltending, and much like this kind of hockey, you know, they're close checking, wait for breaks, nothing spectacular. The U.S. team just plods along and doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
All right, Gary Nyland trying to shoot it. It's kicked around in center. Nyland dropping the glove almost. He pushed and shoved.
And Mark Osborne, I think that he was jousting with. What kind of authoritative presence is what the Islanders need on the defense? And Nyland not only possessing it offensively, but he does it defensively, and he's in the box now in his first game back. Didn't get any points, didn't get any penalty minutes in the 4 games he played for the Capital Districts, and Butch Goring, who are now in first place. The Capital District Islanders doing a wonderful job.
And what a story they're writing. A team that doesn't have a whole lot of great talent, but scrapping.
Well, a lot of people might argue with that. They've got some pretty good young talent up there, Barry, but you say that they do it. They balance it out pretty good.
Greg Parks having another outstanding season. He had a cup of coffee up here with the Islanders. Brent Grieve, one of the Islander high draft picks, playing well down there.
Yes, he is. He's leads the team in scoring. Got his 29th and 30th goals the other night.
Danny Lorenz, of course, playing very well in goal, but right now the Islanders concentrating on getting something going here. Osborne and Nyland both off for roughing at 16:57, and Richard Pilon back behind the net. This afternoon crowd hoping for something to get going. Bad pass by Pilon, got by Curvers. Here's McDermott chasing it in the corner. Now Curvers looking for an outlet. Up the middle he finds King, who's had a quiet game, along with the rest of the Islanders. McElwain. Carlisle there to break it up. Knocked down by McElwain. And tapped back to the Islander blue line. McDermott goes off on a change. Here's King getting around. Housley wicks in. The shot save. Good angle save that time. Cutting the angle down was the goaltender. Turgeon's pass out for Curvers. Deflects wide, and it's a 2-on-1 the other way. Housley with Elena. Housley closing. Housley behind the net, knocked away by Finley.
Just went too far with the puck. He hesitated, wasn't sure what he wanted to do. Should I pass it? Should I shoot it? Didn't do either, and ended up behind the net with the puck.
Finley trying to tie him up. In comes Evans to work it free. Ulanoff, who got a goal earlier, sent it toward the net. Knocked down by Fitzpatrick. Minute 35 to go. Kept in by Borsato. Evans back to go to Borsato. A hard drive staggers Fitzpatrick. And King will clear it out to center. Oh, that one stunned Fitzpatrick up high. And Newman will drive it right back in. Nearly got Mike McGoo with that puck.
All of this play down in the Islanders' end of the ice and the scoring opportunities on a delayed offside all started when Curvers went in, poaching, looking for a goal. Housley breaks away on a 2-on-1 break. From there, Mark Fitzpatrick had to come up with a pretty good stop in close. Here was the shot, a blistering drive. That was Borsato up high. Wow, look at stung Mark Fitzpatrick. Look again as that puck come out of the corner, and Borsato just with it teed up blistered it. Probably left alone. It may have gone over the net. Fitzpatrick couldn't take a chance on it.
He's not a big guy, Borsato. He's got a hard shot. He played at Clarkson, was a 7th-round pick. And here's Newman down the right wing, moving in. And defensemen love to move up on the play. Although they're very smart defensively, they've got speed to get back.
Last minute of play in the period, 1 minute.
Winnipeg Jets dominating play right now. Elena out for Evans. Picked off, and it's 3-on-3. Islanders have it. Ferraro. Thomas trying to gather it in. Under a minute to go in the period. 43 seconds left. And there's Newman in to break it up. Knocked away by Thomas. Goes into the corner. Borsato takes a hit from Hogue. And it'll be whacked down the ice. They wave off icing. Now, as you see the time remaining, Islanders hope for one more rush here. Here's Hogue. Stood up by Carlisle. Has to retreat. No play but to dump it in. And Carlisle has time to get to it. Cleared smartly up the middle now.
That's a veteran defenseman. That beautiful pass up the middle by Carlisle. A lot of defensemen would have put it up around the glass, around the boards, and possibly given it away.
And the second period will come to an end in a moment, but sliding down was an Islander, Ray Ferraro, in front of the goal. We're going to get a penalty call here.
I think we're going to get 2 penalties. If I read Magoo right, he's looking at Ferraro and pointing. He's looking at Housley, too, I believe. The two of them get tangled up. It was near the end of the first period. Ray Ferraro was giving the last goal scorer for Winnipeg, Ulanov, a near full. Let's take a look at how that exchange. There's the pass. Woo, look at the low hit by Ferraro on Housley, and Housley swung back with the stick to give him a little tap to say, don't do that. Housley goes to the dressing room. Ferraro goes to the Islander dressing room with just 0.7 of a second, if you will, left on the clock.
Well, Mr. Housley is probably going to put his makeup on so he gets ready for Stan Fischler's interview.
Yeah, he doesn't want to look bad sitting next to our Stan Fischler. The Maven. I was just joking, Stan. Of course you're the expert. Isn't that what a Maven is?
That's right.
I didn't know that.
Well, someone who thinks he's an expert in everything. But Stan is.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, he is. I mean, every time I want to know something, I ask Stan.
Roughing will be the calls, and off the face-off, that'll do it. 19:57 the time of the penalties, and a frustrated group of Islanders and Al Arbor and Lauren Henning and company head to the locker room figuring out how do we get something going against this Winnipeg Jet Club. They have not scored an even strength goal in 8 periods of hockey against them this year.
Well, it's number 23. That is Paul McDermott, heads into the dressing room. And the other one, Igor Ulanov. Good skater, a hard hitter. He scored the other goal to make it 3-1 for the Winnipeg Jets.
So after 2, the Jets with a 2-goal lead. We'll be right back. First time they've done that in a while.
Yes, Turgeon, King, and Ferraro all have 30-plus. Derek King has 33.
Well, they can sure use some of that goal scoring here in the third period as they have managed only 9 shots on the Winnipeg goaltender. As we begin this third period with Pierre Turgeon, Benoit Hogue, Tommy Fitzgerald, Rich Pilon, and Tom Curvers out there for the Islanders. The checking line of Troy Murray out there, along with Mark Osborne. As the Islanders, Mark Fitzpatrick will play it up the boards. Hogue up to Turgeon. Fitzgerald knocked away, and here's Carlisle to clear the zone. Very tough team to come back against, these Winnipeg Jets. Only once this year have they not been able to win a game in which they've led. Going into the third period, 17 wins, 1 loss, and 4 ties. And only once have the Islanders in 19 games come back to win a game when they trailed going into the third period. So the Islanders hoping to turn the numbers around here. Murray will flip it in. Osborne chased into the corner by Turgeon. And the Islanders will recover. Islanders break to center. Turgeon with no help here, however. The Islanders in the midst of a change. Cronin trying to chase Turgeon. He takes him off the play. Steen takes a hit. Hogue will play the puck. Out there with DeMaio. There's Turgeon. Puck is underneath a couple of players. It slides free, and now we get a whistle. And a stoppage of play. A hand pass has been called.
You can do that down in your own end of the ice, but the Islanders did it in the offensive zone, and that's not legal. Take a look here as Turgeon, who led the rush in, there's the hand going out. You can see now, watch the puck come out as Benoit Hogue slides it out to Turgeon, didn't get away with it. For all of you who are thinking so diligently about my trivia question about the 4 goaltenders, the 4 goaltenders, the only time a goaltender has been the MVP, the Hart Trophy winner in the NHL. Let me see. Al Rollins was one of them. Played for Toronto, Chicago, and the Rangers. Charlie Rayner played for the New York Americans and the New York Rangers. Roy Waters played for Pittsburgh, the New York Americans, and Montreal, and of course Jacques Plante in 1962. And Plante played for Montreal, Rangers, Boston, St. Louis, and also the Toronto Maple Leafs. So if you got those 4 names, you win anything you want.
If you have those 4 names, you could be considered a maven yourself.
I did have all 4.
You're pretty good about that, Eddie Westfall, hockey historian. Super maven.
Yeah, that's heavens. I just flew a skinny, maybe.
All right, there is Al Arbor, not looking very happy. Checks over his line combinations. David Volek not available. In case you're just tuning in, David suffered a back injury, sprain, or at least that's what they tell us, late in that first period. And the Islanders right now have out Dave McElwain, Robbie DeMaio, and Steve Thomas, hoping to generate some offense. You go back to the third period the other night, Eddie, which they had only 2 shots on goal, so they've had only 11 shots on goal in 3 periods.
Well, when you think about it, too, it's a little different if you go into a period, the third period in the case against Vancouver, and you're leading the hockey game, and you only get 2, and you're able to hang on to the lead. Similar situation here now for the Winnipeg Jets. But I don't know that they'll allow the Islanders to spend as much time in their end as the Islanders did the Vancouver Canucks in theirs.
Hellenuck carries down the wing, checked by Baskey. McElwain around the boards, takes a hit from Evans, and Islanders try to pull away. Here's Thomas. Coming in, he's in front, goes wide as he was trying to get it to Robbie DeMaio.
Interesting to point out why he wouldn't make a shot at the net there. I think that's what happens, and we've often said that about players that haven't scored in a long time. They get a little gun shy. They want to pass the puck rather than shoot it.
Lose that confidence. It's such a big part of this game. A lot of fans don't realize that even professional.
Well, they think they're giving up a good scoring opportunity if they try to shoot it at the net because it just has not been going in.
Bodies go sliding down. Here moving up, Gary Nyland. Shoot saved by Essensa. The puck loose. Turgeon tried to plant free. Essensa got back in the crease. Curvis with a shot. It's blocked. Gary Nyland with a good scoring opportunity. Back the other way. It's a 2-on-1 developing. Here's Borsato with LeBlanc. LeBlanc shoots into the chest. The rebound pops high and trickles wide and picked up by the Islanders as play continues. Here's Turgeon. Great effort. Save Essensa. And Cronin trying to clear the puck. Out in front again. Oh, Benoit Hose.
The Islanders with quite a flurry, I should say, at both ends. As you remember that the Winnipeg Jets had a 2-on-1 break. Mark Fitzpatrick comes up with a big save. Back comes Turgeon. He breaks between Cronin and Olofsson. His backhand shot stopped by Essensa, and then the play breaks loose. Cronin loses the puck. It's shifted to the front of the net. Benoit Hove fires it into the lower left-hand corner. The Islanders have some life. They're within 1. They've only played 2 minutes and 53 seconds of the third period.
And Gary Nyland, moments before that, Eddie, moving up on the play, having a golden scoring opportunity as well.
Well, the game could have almost been out of reach if it wasn't for the acrobatics and puck-stopping ability of Mark Fitzpatrick in the Islanders' net.
So now within 1, 2:53 the time of that whole 20-second goal. And the Coliseum crowd alive here, 8,300. First time they really have come alive. And now Murray will dump it in as Winnipeg changes line.
His goal is 22nd.
They want to get their line on against this checking line of the Islanders. Here's Yubi McDonough pulled down. No penalty by Magoo. Housley a lead off the stick of Steen. And Fitzpatrick will sweep it around.
22nd of the year from
Steen jumping on it. He's got Hellenuck with him. Steen along the board, shot deflected over the glass off Pilon into the crowd. Early in the third, the Islanders on Holt's 22nd have drawn within 1.
Well, Sykes, I believe, is going to get the gate. He and Nyland were going after each other in a second altercation. First one broke up. Nyland pointing to his face as if he'd taken a stick. Some of the better action. This was the 2-on-1 break. Moments before the Islanders scored. Look at Mark Fitzpatrick. What a nice save down. There's the shot. Partially broken up. As Curvers got back to help break up the play, Borsato gets knocked to the ice by Nyland. That scoring opportunity went to LeBlanc, and then there's the move by Pierre Turgeon. Good backhand, good shot by Asensa, and then the puck. Cronin here mishandled it, and the puck bounced to the front of the net. That's where Benoit Hogue found enough room down low to give the Islanders their second goal of the game.
How sweet is that for Benoit Hogue? His first goal since January 30th. He went 8 games without a goal. And the Islanders now within 1. Penalties, by the way, for unsportsmanlike conduct to Sykes and Nyland at 3:28. Teams play at full strength, 5 aside, as Murray and Turgeon battle for the face-off. And the youngsters in the crowd start chanting, "Let's go Islanders." Islanders looking to come back here as Turgeon will flip one in. Here's Housley trying to chip it out, intercepted by Hogue. Finley shot wide, not set in front, knocked down in front by Essenza. Now Benoit Hogue tied up by Murray, and Carlisle will work it ahead. Sykes cross ice. Moving in Housley. Looking for Sykes. Deflects wide. McDermott in the corner. This is Osborne. Moving toward the slot. Murray will dump it into the corner to Osborne. And Vaske will drive it around. Benoit Hogue outlets for Turgeon. He's got Fitzgerald with him. Coming in on Carlisle. The centering pass blocked, and Housley will pick it up.
Boy, did you see the way Turgeon took that pass in the center ice area? Very few players have the ability to do what he did.
Tremendous hands, the young man from Quebec. And getting a lot of ice time today with the Islanders needing offense.
Well, they'd been double shifting them, I pointed out, in the first and second period, and things haven't changed a great deal. The Islanders get a little break here after this game against Winnipeg.
All right, good effort by Borsato. Pilon pulled him down. Play continues. Thomas looking to get it up ice. Meanwhile, a couple of guys nearly went at it. It was the Islanders' Robbie DeMaio. That's fired wide. He and Mike Hartman were ready to go. We've had no fights in this game. Ulanoff gets it into Hartman. He shoots, and we get a penalty call as a player knocked into the Islander bench. And it was Ulanoff, I believe, the Russian defenseman.
He's a big, strong defenseman, good on his feet. And Robbie DeMaio. Hartman just got flattened by Pilon.
So this game, which was rather quiet up till now really breaking out, and one of the linesmen having their hands full, trying to hold on Richard Pilon. It was DePuzzo, Pat DePuzzo, trying to contain Rich Pilon. That's trying to hold in a big calf.
It's like trying to hold a bull, not a calf.
Right. Well put, Eddie. We've got a break in the action. Things heating up at the Coliseum.
Some of the hitting that we saw in the first period comes out here now in the third as the Islanders close the gap. That's Igor Ulanoff right here. That Pilon, boom, just puts him up. You see him lift. DeMaio catches him low, lifts him, and puts him into the bench with the Islanders. And then DeMaio and Hartman having some words. Hartman sees Pilon coming, and boom, he can't do much about it. He gets tipped over backwards. Penalties. Hartman goes in the box. So does Pilon. I guess that's all there was to the penalties. That was Borsato that hit Ray Ferraro, and then DeMaio on Ulanoff.
There'll be misconduct penalties, 10-minute misconduct penalties, so they're gone for 10 minutes. As play underway, 14:40 to go here in the third, 3-2 Winnipeg. Derek King trickles it toward the blue line. And that one will roll down the ice. Vaske and Finley paired up defensively. Turgeon now on with Hogue and King. And the Islanders, Vaske bangs it up the boards. King will try to get to it first. He'll play it, and a 2-line pass is whistled down on the Islanders. Well, don't forget, coming up Thursday night, this place will be jumping. The Islanders and the Rangers live and exclusive here on Sports Channel. The Rangers playing, of course, against the Vancouver Canucks at the Garden today. And that should be a war again, Eddie. And the Islanders have a bit of revenge on their mind. You can see Vancouver leading the Rangers 3-2 in the third period. Pavel Bure with another goal.
He has his second goal in that hockey game. And yeah, the Islanders host the Rangers here on Thursday, so that'll be something to look forward to.
James Patrick, by the way, got the second Ranger goal. And you see the shots on goal almost doubled for the Winnipeg Jets. Now, the last time the Islanders played the Jets, the Islanders lost 3-1, but they managed something like 41 shots on goal out there in Winnipeg.
Yeah, that's a little different look in that hockey game with the Islanders skating and creating scoring opportunities.
Right now, it'll be Troy Murray and UB McDonough. McDonough out there with Steve Thomas and Dave McElwain. Here's Thomas. Oh, McDonough, he's in. Shoots, goal!
There was just enough room inside the goalpost to the left of Bob Essensa. John Paddock, the coach, is not happy. He's watched a 2-goal lead disappear. The Islanders are now tied. Here's the play. Thomas goes outside. There's the pass by Thomas, a beauty, into the skates, grabbed it. Look at UB McDonough. Held the puck, made the goaltender commit, and then he slid it in off the goalpost. And it's a 3-3 tie, his 6th goal of the season, and the Islanders have a brand new hockey game.
You saw Phil Housley slide to try to get a last piece of the goal scorer. And it was Troy Murray who was beaten by UB McDonough on that play, their best defensive player. Housley. Now McDermott, hit along the boards by Baumgartner. He rides him down. The puck trickles back into the Winnipeg zone. McDonough coming up with that big goal and a great pass from Steve Thomas. Back comes Housley. Throws it toward the net, knocked down, it's loose in front. Milanock stopped in front. Good save by Fitzpatrick. As Baumgartner had trouble getting to that puck, centering pass. Picked off by Pierre Turgeon. Stolen back by Shannon. Steen driven into the boards. Now the Islanders, Steve Thomas rifles it ahead for Benoit Hogue. Hogue on Ulanov. Now Turgeon behind the net, watched by Housley. Tries to spin away, knocked down. Hogue trying to get it back. Finley had vacated the point. He'll have to play it out in center. Thomas, the only assist on that goal at 5:56. Here's the King drive, knocked away by Essensa. Off to the corner. Vansky can't hold it in. He'll have to chase back, being pursued heavily by Sykes. Vansky will take him off. LeBlanc chasing Finley, and Jeff Finley skates to center. 12:28 to go in this third period. Goals by Hogue and McDonough, just about 2 minutes apart, have tied the game for the Islanders. DeMaio deflection. Ulanov to pick it up. Chased by DeMaio, coming in on Curvers. Nyland will try to get to that. Now the crowd really buzzing as Nyland bangs it in.
When you think of the position that the Islanders are in the Patrick division, Barry, this is such a very big game for them. They got to get the point.
Hellenuck moving in. Islanders caught a little bit out of position here, but now Olesen from the point, screen shot, blocked in front, knocked down. Shannon getting the shot off, and Fitzpatrick a big save. Thomas in center, coming in on Olesen. Good play by the Swede to turn it back. Ferraro on the bouncing puck. And Olesen will clear the zone. 11:20 to go, third period, as Vansky drives it around the board. Turgeon wheeling. Turgeon coming out, centers it through the crease wide. And McDermott will clear it out. Finley chases back, watched by Osborne. Boy, the intensity picking up for both teams right now. It's an important game for Winnipeg, too. Locked in their struggle for second place.
And the Los Angeles Kings.
They came in tied with the Kings.
Kings are playing this afternoon out on the West Coast, but that'll be a 4 o'clock Eastern start.
And Wahoe back to pick it up. And the Islanders' success on their West Coast road trip It was the third period in which they dominated Eddie in several of those games, as the Jets may be called for an icing here, and they will be as Vasky touches up. We pause for a local break. 10:30 to go, and what's turned out to be a dandy, tied at 3.
Let's watch Mark Fitzpatrick come up with a save much similar to the kinds of saves there. Backhand shot, kick save. Expect to see that on March the 1st, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when the Islanders alumni play the Philadelphia and Ranger alumni here at the Nassau Coliseum, March the 1st. Mike Bossy will be playing, Dennison, John Potvin, Bob Nystrom, Gillies, Morrow, Billy Smith, as I had mentioned, Butch Goring, Chico Resch may be here to play and share the goaltending duties with Billy Smith.
And some of the Bad Street Bullies will be here. Now Baumgartner knocks his man down as that puck trickled by him. And picked up now by Ulanov. We're tied at Bad Street Bullies. They were bad, but they were also the Broad Street Bullies. Down the wing comes Ulanov. And he'll steer it around into the corner. Well, they had a wild game last night. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. A ton of penalties and not bench clearing, but some fighting at the end of the game that Paul Stewart whistled everybody off the ice that was on. Right here, we're tied at 3 with 9:50 to go. Tommy Curvis behind the net. Looking up the middle for Dave McElwain. Cronin chased behind the net. Gives it to Borsato. And the Islanders will chase back. Vasky will pick it up. Now Thomas with Hogue and Turgeon on for the Isles. Cronin will play it in the far side. Out to Pat Ellenuk. Ellenuk shoots it to the end of the line. And it deflects onto the bench of the Winnipeg Jets. 9:14 to go in the third, and it's tied at 3.
Islanders have changed the complexion of the hockey game. Both teams playing much differently. I think the Winnipeg Jets made the mistake of trying to protect the lead, and the Islanders come out mad, jumped all over them.
Well, they've taken advantage of the few chances they've had here in the third period. 2 goals by Hogue and McDonough to tie it. And now we're under 9 minutes to go here in the third with Phil Housley. He's a game breaker for these guys. Banging it out to center. Murray down the right wing. Got a man cutting in front. It was Osborne. Couldn't get it to him. Nicely tied up by Vasky. McDermott with a hit on King in the corner, and the puck covered up. We'll have a whistle stopping play. You know, we mentioned Gary Nyland, of course, coming back this afternoon. Huey Krupp is still out, and what's the latest word on him, Eddie?
Well, he's getting very close to coming back. I kind of doubt if we'll see him for the. I know we won't see him for the Ranger game, and they're hoping that possibly on the weekend, but I would doubt that he'd be back on those back-to-back weekend games. What is it, Minnesota and the Washington Capitals? So I would think that probably another week. There's Gary Nyland. Can you imagine all that hardware? Now that looks like the rack in my garage where I keep all my tools. That is the pins and the plate that were in the heel helping it knit of Gary Nyland.
Eddie, did you have an injury, anything similar to that in your career?
No, I never had to have. I've had operations, but I never had to have screws put in me and plates put in me.
Gary Nyland has played well, getting a lot of ice time. Well, the USA now leading by a score of 3-0. Marty McGuinness, Islander property, getting that goal. Here's Housley's shot, former Olympian. Nice play by Thomas. Gets it ahead to center. Here's Tamayo coming in with Ferraro. Ferraro overskated. This will give Housley an advantage. Now 3-on-3. Housley wrist shot. Save Fitzpatrick. Thomas looking to outlet to Tamayo. 8:15 to go in the third. Knotted at 3. Oh, that was a hard shot off the pad of the goaltender. And Housley moves to the head. Here's Shannon coming in with Steen. Check back to the blue line by Vasky. Vasky ties him up and Finley in to play it. Good play again by Thomas. Good shift for him. Ulanov will drive it right back in. The sense that one mistake could be the difference in the game right now.
Well, and of course, it's kind of a hockey game where it's going to take a pretty good save by two goaltenders that are both capable.
Finley, it deflects, and Winnipeg will pick it up. Eleanor and Ulanov could not stay onside, and the whistle blows on the offside call, and they'll bring it back with 7:27 to go. Tied at 3 apiece. Well, we mentioned it earlier, but you can see that this is a very tough team, the Winnipeg Jets, because of the style of game. They don't open it up much, but Islanders have come back. 4 times teams have come back to tie it. And there's John Paddock, another unheralded guy. Fits this team.
Yes, he does. He's a developer of young players. That's the kind of an image that he has presented in the league. He was a Washington pick, the Washington Capitals, back in 1974. Scored the tying goal for the Flyers against the Islanders in Game 6 of the 80 Cup final. Parts of 5 years he played with the Philadelphia Flyers. You saw there the Washington Capitals and the Quebec Nordiques.
And your former teammate, the guy who scored that winning goal, is seated to our right on the radio booth. My radio sidekick, Mr. Nystrom.
Yes.
What an exciting moment that was. We all remember that. Tommy Kerber's back behind the net. Off the stick of Hogue. It'll be driven back by McDermott. Under 7 minutes to go in the third. Osborne hit hard by Baumgartner. Islanders don't want to take a penalty here. Moving into the slot. Here's Murray. Shoots and he scores. But no, they wave off the goal. They wave it off. Mike Magoo waves it off.
And rightfully so. Paul McDermott, he's saying, is in the goal crease. They end up with a penalty and no goal. Look at John Paddock. He thinks that Baumgartner should have had a penalty over on the boards. Troy Murray grabbed the puck off the board, skated over, had some open spots, went to them, had some open net, went to that, fired it in. But I believe McDermott was in the goal crease. John Paddock is incensed. You see him now. Calm down, calm down. This is a tied game. He wants to talk to one of the players on the ice. He wants to talk to the referee now, and he's going to go over because he's not flailing away. He's asking him, good move by the coach. He gets the ear of the referee. He's not going to change his mind, but now he's having it explained to him. Well done for both of them. Magoo gets a well done because he went over to him because John Paddock was not going to embarrass him. Osborne gets knocked down by Baumgartner. Nothing unusual except that Baumgartner held him down. Listen for the whistle now. Whistle comes after the puck's in the net. No question, but where were the feet? Where were the feet of number 23, Paul McDermott? That was the question.
Well, the sometimes controversial rule backfires for the Winnipeg Jets here. Not only they denied the goal, but they get a penalty on top.
Well, that's what the referee is signaling when he puts McDermott in the penalty box, is that he was interfering with the goaltender, or he was in the goal crease when the puck entered the net.
So the Islanders go on to power play, and they have come up with a power play goal tonight for this afternoon. And Olesen will drive it all the way down. Remember, the Jets penalty killing, best in the league on the road and second best overall. The Islanders on their third opportunity. Jets don't take a lot of penalties. They play good, sound, fundamental defensive hockey. King. Bad pass, too deep for Curvers. Curvers got the Islander power play goal earlier. Here's Turgeon. Knocked out at center. King moving in on Olesen. No play there. Throws it now to Turgeon. In front. Breaking, shooting, score!
The patience. Steve Thomas, it paid off. He had opportunities, times when he passed it, when he should have shot. Mike Magoo will not get a Christmas card next year from John Paddock. But Thomas has given the Islanders a 1-goal lead. 3 unanswered goals for the Islanders in the third period. And who assisted on it? Who else? Pierre Turgeon. Look at the nice move. essence, he went guessing. He thought Thomas was going to one-time it. Thomas fooled him. He held it, stepped around him, fired it into the open net. The Islanders have a 1-goal lead. 6 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the hockey game.
The magician Pierre Turgeon with a dandy assist, his second assist of the game. And the Islanders now have taken a 4-3 lead with 3 unanswered goals here. Helena ahead, Steen on the wing. Fitzpatrick trying to clear, centering pass out in front. Bill Berg able to get to it. Housley ties up Berg. Ahead, here's DeMaio. He's got Ferraro with him. Ferraro in. Tickles it wide, and he couldn't cue it up as he collided with the goaltender. Good work, however, by Rob DeMaio and Ray Ferraro that time, using their speed eddy to get in.
Well, it was a beautiful play that all started with the play from Bill Berg along the boards, freeing up the puck.
Here's Berg pushing down the left wing. Ferraro on the opposite side. Housley broke it up. Double teamed his Housley, so there's Elenek to try to pick it up. 5:15 to go, third. Islanders have come back to lead at 4-3. Borsato with a nifty move. He gets almost hauled down. He goes down behind the net. No penalty by Magoo. That will not draw the favor of Mr. Paddock. As that puck knocked in center ice, gloved down by Fitzgerald, and he'll make a good play to get to it and dump it in. Fitzgerald and Nyland go off on a change. And Borsato can't find it. Here's Randy Carlisle. He'll bang it in. Baskey to pick it up. Islanders leading it 4-3. Turgeon waiting for his teammates to go onside. And back to play it is Olesen. Jets have out the over 30 line. Borsato and LeBlanc, the couple of rookies. They'll go off on a change as it's dumped in. 4:20 to go. Hogue, McDonough, and Thomas here in the third have given the Islanders a come-from-behind 4-3 lead. Good forechecking here by the Islanders, but that rolling puck eludes Thomas. Here's Murray coming in with McDermott. Murray rifles it wide. McDermott can't get it. Island, good play to throw it back behind the net. Curvis well trying to get to it. And Curvis will get it back. Good pass to McElwain. 2-on-1 against Housley. He's got Thomas with him. Save the rebound. Oh, it trickles wide. Behind the net, McElwain chopping at it. McDermott tries to run him over. Missed the check. Good work here by the Islanders, but away from the play. We have a high stick called. So a break in the action. 3:36 to go in the third. The Islanders have come from behind to lead it 4-3. Well, the Olympic hockey update, you see it. USA leading it 3-1. Sweden finally getting something by Mr. LeBlanc, who's been throwing blanks at everybody. I want to remind you folks that nothing beats the excitement of Islander hockey, certainly not here in the third period. And when enjoying the game, nothing beats the king of beers. So clean, crisp, and cold, nothing beats a bud. And right now, battling Fitzgerald. What a hit, worked it free. In front, King, it slid it by. And Turgeon. Fitzgerald can't get it. And up ahead, here's Elenuck. Dropping it back. The pass to Steen across the line with Elenuck. Steen shot too high. Elenuck trying to get to it. Tied up, spun around. And Turgeon will work it free. Islanders winning the battle along the boards, Eddie. A little more intensity right now as they realize the importance of this game. Poking it away, diving out.
Well, it's easy to be impressed, Barry, with the play of Turgeon in the offensive zone. But you know, he's been the best player defensively for the Islanders as well.
Excellent point. And now Fitzpatrick will cover up the puck in the corner. Will step out. Don't go away. 2:44 to go in the third. It's the Islanders 4, the Jets 3.
I was just told that Turcotte scored for the Rangers at 19:59 to send that game, they and the Vancouver Canucks, into overtime.
And don't forget the Rangers here on Thursday. I believe there are some tickets available, not many. And if you can't get to the game, you can certainly get it here exclusively on Sportschannel. And we hope that you'll be tuned in for yours truly, Barry Landers and Eddie Westfall. Right now it's Troy Murray and Robbie DeMaio facing off. 2:44 to go. And what has turned into a very exciting hockey game. Islanders leading it 4-3. DeMaio and Murray. Good work by Robbie. Tied up Murray. Murray wants to slash away at him there, Eddie. And the Islanders control. Thomas gets it to DeMaio. He's got Ferraro and Thomas with him. Lyle will chase after it. Housley pursues him. Now Olesen after him. And Housley will pick it up as Robbie fell. And with 2:20 to go, Housley to the red line. Bangs it in. Pilon will get to it. Evans tied up trying to get to him. Taken down by Ray Ferraro. And a needless accidental penalty on the part of Ray Ferraro will give the Jets a power play with 2:11 to go.
Just what you didn't want to have happen, but you know, you have to be careful too. Ray Ferraro does not want to allow the Winnipeg Jets the opportunity to get a shot at the goal. Bearing down defensively, there's Turgeon, turns. Little bit of a dive too, so a little guilt on both sides, but Ferraro gets called. Oh no, he knows exactly what that means. His team is going to play shorthanded for almost the rest of the hockey game, providing Winnipeg does not get a goal. Do they pull the goaltender? Do they get the extra skater on? What do you do here?
Well,
how important is it at this point in the standings, in the season? I suppose you wouldn't pull them, but I don't know.
Well, they have the option, obviously, and the Islanders have a chance to shoot the puck all the way down at the empty net. And if indeed they're shorthanded as they are right now, they can ice it and even go for the goal. Doesn't matter. And we're ready to go. This should be a wild finish here. As Thomas Steen has come out, he's got Shannon and Ellenuk as his wings. Housley and Olesen, two guys who have 36 goals combined as defensemen out there right now. And you know these guys will be firing away at him. McElwain, big win. Ellenuk tied up by Finley. Here's Olesen at the point. Bad pass, and Finley there to drive it down.
Wow, what a very bad play by Olesen. He just slid it in blindly, and the Islanders said thank you very much.
And here comes the Swede turning back.
Another bad pass by Olesen. You can't afford to do that because one bad pass generally leads to another. That forced Housley to make a play that he did not want to make.
A minute and a half to go in the penalty. A minute 39 left in the third period. Housley flips it on the wing. Ellenuk. Finley after it. Ellenuk. Shannon around the boards. Olesen will hold it at the point. Shannon can't get it. Picked up by Ellenuk. Watched in front by Vasky. Housley at the left point. Watched by McElwain and Vasky on that side. Housley back to Olesen. He's got a screen shot here. Save! Fitzpatrick, the rebound loose, and it almost went in, but saved by Fitzpatrick. No, did they say? It's in.
It's a goal, according to the referee. He's pointing at it, Barry. The light did not go on that I remember seeing. Mark Fitzpatrick had his hand out quickly, but not fast enough as the puck slid across the goal line. There it is, 2-5. 2-5. That's what the goal score is for the Winnipeg Jets. That's Thomas Steen. Good play by Housley. He held it long enough. Back to Olofsson. There's his shot. Stopped by Mark Fitzpatrick. There's the rebound as it lays out in front. There it's trickling across the line. Magoo says it's in. The puck is down in the net. He's pointing to it. Good call by the referee. You have to say that if you were going to judge, that was a deflection. That puck changed direction on the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick, and there's the puck. Rolling. It's across the line. It's down in the corner of the net. So the game is back at tie, 4-4. Ray Ferraro. Tough penalty to take late in the hockey game.
All right, here we go. We're down to a minute to go in regulation. And Carlisle will pick it up. Carlisle, a head tap by McDermott. Loose in center ice, and Thomas will pick it up. And a high stick on the play will stop the action here. Olesen gets an assist, along with Phil Housley, on the Steen goal, which came late here in the third period. And the second power play goal by the Winnipeg Jets has tied it. A look at the Swede, who was out a good part of the season. Not 100% yet from that back injury.
He's had a lot of problems with his back, and when you think of the Winnipeg Jets and the problems they've had, much similar to the Islanders with some of the injuries. Of course, Eddie Olchuk is not in the lineup, a big part of their offense. Olchuk currently with 21 goals. He is tied for the lead in goal scoring with Housley on the team.
He has an elbow and an ankle problem, and they hope to have him back in a couple of weeks, but He was doing very well. Had 21 goals, 45 points a while ago when he was hurt.
An extremely painful injury, too, a dislocated elbow, something that you do not hear of very often.
All right, Newman will chase back to pick it up. 42 seconds to go. Jets, who blew a 3-1 lead, have come back to tie it at 4. As we are down now to 30 seconds to go. Carlisle. Shot in by Osborne. He's hooked down by Pilon. McDermott can't get it. Tied up there as he takes down Tommy Turbers. Newman will have to play it in center. And he lobs it over the glass into the crowd as we have McDermott down hurt away from the play, and Rich Pilon separated by the linesman there.
Going to be a penalty on the play, too, Barry. The Islanders have taken a bad penalty, I believe, as you see the player, McDermott, getting up. I don't know whether it was Curvers that hit him. Yes, it is. Tom Curvers is heading into the penalty box with 19 seconds. Now, that's not so important as far as the Islanders are concerned. It goes into overtime, this hockey game, tied at 4. It was a cross-checking penalty or a roughing penalty, I'm not sure. But the Islanders are going to be shorthanded if they can hold things off for 19 seconds. It's a cross-checking penalty, I understand. There's the first play, the contact between the two. McDermott grabbed him and threw Curvers down. As they get up and head up the ice, I guess from behind, Curvers cross-checked McDermott and knocked him down. Mike Magoo was standing not too far away. So the Islanders again put themselves in a tough position.
Well, one of the things that Al Arbor has always stressed is if you're going to take a penalty, let it be a good penalty. And the Islanders have taken a couple here that one at least has come back to haunt them, and they hope this last one doesn't.
Well, they're not good penalties. When you say about talking about good penalties, the only thing good about it is they get the face-off out in the center ice area.
Well, the penalty, of course, if you're new to hockey, will carry over to the overtime period. Should the Winnipeg Jets not score here, Pilon will bounce one in. Played by Housley. 10 seconds left in regulation. Housley would take a long shot wide of the net. The rebound. Fitzpatrick taps it, and he'll have to glove it down. He couldn't glove it and control it. And now the period will come to an end as Housley shoots, and it's deflected wide. Ooh.
Well, Winnipeg Jets doing their best to try and end this hockey game before the time ran out. They only had 19 seconds. They had a couple of opportunities. Steen at the end. But Steen also was the guy that got the goal that tied the hockey game. Exciting game here in the third period. One that was just not too exciting through the first two.
Yeah, Mark Fitzpatrick could not control that puck, Eddie. It deflected off of his glove right into that slot. And it became a little helter-skelter in the closing seconds for the Islanders as Steve Weeks, the Islander backup goalie, this afternoon looks on. And we head to overtime. The shots on goal in that third period. And first we'll take a look at our scoring summary. And there's our score. Winnipeg and the Islanders 4-4. It was Benoit Hogue at .253 from Turgeon, as Turgeon extended his streak to 16 games, the longest since Mike Bossy's point streak in 1982-83. McDonough tied the game at .556 on a beautiful pass from Thomas. Then Thomas came back to put the Islanders in front with a power play goal, his 15th from Turgeon. And that lead stayed until 1854 when the Islanders gave up a power play goal. Steen his 6th from Olofsson. That's the way the third period ended up at 4-4. And as we take a look at the shots on goal in the third period, Jets outshot by the Islanders 9-7. And the three-period totals, the Jets with a 12-shot edge.
Well, take a look at why this overtime. This was Housley's move. That's why he's the all-star player that he is. A defenseman held the puck long enough. Olofsson blasted it. It was deflected. Fitzpatrick got enough of it to keep it in front of him. But then, bang. Steen got enough of it to direct it toward the net. The net looks like it's going to leave the moorings, but Mike Magoo, the referee, is pointing. The puck is back in the net. Mark Fitzpatrick couldn't get his big mitt on it before it crossed the goal line, and that goal by Steen sends the game into overtime.
You saw McDonough and Baskey trying to tie up Steen, unable to get the little Swede tied up enough that he was able to just deflect it. And there's a guy that is tough and over. This team has played a lot of overtime, the Winnipeg Jets, Eddie. Their overtime record, 1 win, 3 losses, and 11 ties. And the Islanders' overtime record, 1 win, 2 losses, and 7 ties.
Well, when you think and talk about one-goal games, Winnipeg Jets, we've talked about the fact that they haven't scored a lot of goals. They don't give up a lot of goals. 4 is a whole lot for them.
That's right.
Not long ago, they were involved in 16 one-goal decisions. They were 9 wins and 7 losses.
Well, the Islanders hoping to duplicate their last overtime win. That was an exciting goal by Ray Ferraro in Vancouver. Right now, the Islanders have to worry about killing the penalty off. Tommy Curvis in the box right now. And this Winnipeg power play with 2 goals on the afternoon. Housley wheels to center. He's got Steen and Shannon with him. Housley throws it toward the goal, and picking it off is Mark Fitzpatrick. No rebound there with Shannon cutting in front.
See what Phil Housley did. He grabbed the puck. He brought it all the way up the ice, Barry, and then when he crossed the Islanders' blue line, he forced the Islanders first to back up, give them the blue line. Then what he did was he held the puck and moved to the center ice, waiting for somebody. Here's Housley. Look at the power in his stride as he stretches out, grabs the puck. Now he accelerates up. Now watch him stop. There, boom. Now what he's doing, you see the left winger as he heads for the net, holds it, trying to time it so that he'll get the puck to the net just in time to have it deflected.
Well, the American from Minnesota, quite a hockey player, and having a brilliant season this year. As we get ready for the face-off, good job, McElwain. He tied up his man on the face-off. Steen, Islanders trying to get it out. McDonough chipping away. Battle for that loose puck. Nyland trying to get it. McDonough will clear it. Good work along the boards by Nyland and McDonough. Minute 5 left in the Islander penalty. Here in overtime, Jets on the power play. Olesen moving in. Back, it'll go to Elena. Housley back to Olesen. They set up a screen in front. Housley. Olesen, they move it quickly. Olesen, a shot. Hit that goal post. The rebound, Elena gets Fitzpatrick slow and getting up. Here's Steen. Olesen, his drive blocked to center ice and a good play. 2-on-1 developing. Here's McElwain coming in with McDonough. Knocked down by Olesen, who got back. What a recovery that was by the big Swede. 35 seconds to go on the Islander penalty, as you see. Olesen ahead now. Evans tied up nicely by Berg. Pilon will get to the puck. Has trouble trying to clear it. Now gives it off. And having a better shot at it is Baskey.
About 15 seconds all that's left in the power play now for the Winnipeg Jets.
Teppo Numminen up ahead now to Borsato. Islanders get away with a penalty at center ice. Borsato moves in. Here's Carlisle from the left point. On the save made. Loose puck, Pilon. Can't get it out. Newman's got it. Teams are all even. Penalty is over. As the Islanders try to pry it free. Bill Berg, stick being held. Gets it up ahead. Crowd wanted a call made. Curve is able to chip it in. And here's Carlisle. Islanders changing on the fly. Carlisle trying to catch him. But instead will drive it around the board. Fitzpatrick will leave for Nyland. 2:58 to go in overtime. Here's Benoit Hogue. Ahead now to King with Turgeon. They crisscross. Turgeon. Save Essenza. Turgeon trying to center it. Broken up now by Murray. And Nyland will have to hustle back. Instead, it'll be Finley to pick it up. Here in overtime, tied at 4. Benoit Hogue's pass picked off by McDermott. Shoots it in. And Finley to pick it up. Jeff Finley hangs it off the boards. Osborne back to get it, takes a hit from King. King kicks it ahead. Turgeon bumps at the blue line, and Carlisle has it. Deflected over the glass into the crowd, stopping play with 2:17 to go here in the overtime, tied at 4.
What you have to like about this overtime is that both teams are going all out to win it. The Islanders a moment ago with a 2-on-1 break, short-handed. There's a final in the hockey game between the Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. The Rangers coming back to tie it up and get at least a half a loaf out of the game. Håkan Loob has now scored in the third period, and Sweden has closed the 2-goal lead that the Team USA was enjoying. Here's a moment ago off the goalpost. There's the shot by Olofsson, deflected, bang, off the goalpost. The rebound came out. It came out behind Pat Ellenuk.
All right, Jets have it taken away in center by Steve Thomas. Ferraro. He's got Fitzgerald breaking. Fitzgerald's in front. Score! A goal count!
Yeah. heads off the ice in disgust. The Islanders are having a wonderful time. And the coach, John Paddock, 37 years old, is not having a good time. He's lived a lifetime in one period and now overtime as John Paddock watches his stingy Winnipeg Jets give up 3 goals in the third period and 1 in overtime.
Shades of the game against the Rangers when he scored with 3 seconds left to give the Islanders a dramatic victory. Tommy Fitzgerald doesn't score many, but he has a knack for the dramatics.
He's known as a finisher now as Tom Fitzgerald. Nice play. There's the happy fella. And a big win for the Islanders. They thought they had lost a game that they led in most of the way. Ferrero moves it across, and that gave Tommy Fitzgerald the time to move it out. Actually, it looked as though Winnipeg carried it back into their own net. But it's in, it counts, and the Islanders have won in overtime 5-4. Ray Ferrero performed the magic the last time the Islanders won 5-4. That was going in on its own anyway. Tommy Fitzgerald doesn't care, but it was Ferrero in overtime 5-4 on the road against the Vancouver Canucks.
It looked like Olesen almost helped put that one in, but be that as it may, Tommy Fitzgerald with his 6th goal of the year, sending the Islanders into a celebration.
NHL season. Holik would get an opportunity to display his